Welcome back to a Clan a Day podcast brought to you by bagtownclans.com. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald, and today we're diving into the fascinating history of Clan Houstoun, a Scottish clan with a unique origin story and a connection to some of the most notable events and figures in American history, particularly Texas. The Houstons, sometimes spelled Houstoun or Huston, may not have a recognised chief today, making them an armigerous clan, but their legacy is anything but diminished. Their roots in Lanarkshire trace back to the 12th century, and over time, the family has woven itself into both Scottish and American history. The name Houstoun is territorial, originating from a barony in Lanarkshire. The story begins with Hugh de Paduinan, a noble who was granted lands in Kilpeter by Baldwin de Bigre during the reign of King Malcolm IV of Scotland sometime between 1153 and 1165. It was Hugh's grandson, also named Hugh, who saw these lands become known as the barony of Houstoun or Houstoun, marking the origin of the name we know today. This familial estate eventually became Renfrewshire, home to the ancestral seat of the clan. By the end of the 13th century, the Houstons were already prominent figures in Scottish politics. In 1296, Finlay de Houstoun appeared on the Ragman roll, swearing fealty to King Edward I of England, a decision made by many Scottish nobles at the time, as Edward sought to assert dominance over Scotland. Though this act of homage is often seen as a political necessity, the Houstons were a resilient clan, known for their shifting fortunes through war and diplomacy in the centuries that followed. The Anglo-Scottish Wars in the 16th century would mark a turning point for the clan. Sir Peter Houstoun, a notable figure of the family, fought at the Battle of Flodden in 1513, one of the most disastrous battles in Scottish history, where he fought alongside the Earl of Lennox. Tragically, both Sir Peter and the Earl were killed, marking the end of one era of the clan's military involvement, but paving the way for another. Sir Peter's son, Sir Patrick Houstoun of Huston, was closely tied to the Stuart monarchy. He was a companion to James V of Scotland and served as Keeper of the Quarter Seal, a prestigious role in the royal court. However, despite his loyalty, Patrick became embroiled in a plot alongside Lord Lennox, seeking to overthrow the young king, which led to his death at the Battle of Linlithgow Bridge in 1526. These turbulent times saw the clan facing both honour and tragedy as they navigated the volatile politics of Scotland's royal courts. The family would continue to hold power and prestige. By the time of the 17th century, the Houstons had established themselves as a landed family not only in Scotland but also overseas. The 19th chief of the clan was made a baronet of Nova Scotia in 1668 by King Charles II, a title that reflected both status and loyalty to the crown. His son, Sir John Houstoun, would later serve as the falconer to Queen Mary and her husband, King William of Orange, further cementing the family's position within the British aristocracy. However, the most intriguing chapter of Houstoun history lies across the Atlantic with the rise of the American Houstoun descendants. The fifth baronet of the family amassed considerable wealth through his business interests in the United States, particularly in the southern state of Georgia. His sons greatly expanded the family's holdings, and by the time of the American Revolution, the Houstons were reputed to own over 8,000 slaves. These American Houstons chose to renounce their Scottish titles, preferring the wealth and status they had built in the colonies. This brings us to one of the most famous descendants of the Houstoun clan, General Sam Houstoun. Born in Rockbridge, Virginia in 1793, Sam Houstoun would go on to become a pivotal figure in American history. As a young man, he served as a school teacher and politician in Tennessee before making his way to Texas. There, Huston became a leader in the Texan fight for independence from Mexico, leading his forces to a decisive victory over General Santa Anna at the Battle of San Jacinto. This victory secured Texas's independence and made Huston a national hero. He became the first president of the Republic of Texas, and later, after Texas joined the United States in 1845, he served as a U.S. Senator and Governor of Texas. His legacy in the American South is immortalized in the city of Huston, Texas, which bears his name. The Houston's influence didn't stop there. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Sir Robert Houstoun, a member of the Renfrew branch of the family, became a prominent Victorian shipowner. He developed the convoy system, which would later be crucial during the Boer War and World War I. His contributions to naval strategy and British maritime interest were significant, highlighting the diverse ways the family has influenced both Scottish and global history. As of today, there is no recognised chief of Clan Huston, making it an armigerous clan. However, efforts have been made by some descendants, such as Josh Huston, to be instated as the official chief. The case is still under review by the Court of the Lord Lion, which oversees matters of Scottish heraldry. The clan's motto, in tempus or in time, speaks to the enduring nature of the family. From the early days of Hugh de Paduinan to the rise of General Sam Huston in the New World, the Houstons have left an indelible mark on history. Whether through war, politics, or pioneering new frontiers, their story is one of resilience and adaptability. Thank you for joining us on this episode of A Clan a Day podcast, where we explored the history of Clan Huston. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another deep dive into the rich tapestry of Scottish clans. I'm Colin MacDonald, and as always, go Airy and Botherleet.